What you're about to hear will completely change how you see classical music. America's most celebrated orchestra, the New York Philharmonic, has been quietly hiding one of the biggest scandals in music history. For 14 years, musicians have suffered in silence. Some walked away from their careers, others were pushed out, and all of it was buried, protected by silence, disguised by prestige. But now, it's finally being exposed. Classical music's biggest scandal finally exposed. Part 1. The shocking revelation. The New York Philharmonic, a name synonymous with elegance, talent, and tradition. It's the Mount Everest of American orchestras. But behind the music was a nightmare. In 2009, allegations surfaced against a prominent conductor within the Philharmonic. Allegations of verbal harassment, sexual misconduct, professional retaliation. And this wasn't from just one person. Over the years, multiple musicians have reported the same behaviors, but their voices were drowned out or outright ignored. Internal emails later revealed that leadership knew. They even joked about some of the complaints behind closed doors. Instead of addressing the problem, they chose to protect their image and let the abuse continue. Mid-hook, you're probably wondering, why didn't anyone say anything? They did, but the system was built to keep them quiet. Part 2. The culture of silence. In classical music, image is everything. It's a world where one bad review, one backstage conflict, one whisper can end your career. And the New York Philharmonic is the apex predator. Musicians don't just audition. They sacrifice decades of training for a chance to play there. So when something goes wrong, you don't speak up. You endure, you survive, you pretend nothing happened, because challenging the institution, that's professional suicide. A former cellist who asked to remain anonymous told us, "We all knew what was happening, but if you said something, you were blacklisted, period." This culture of silence allowed the scandal to persist for 14 years. It became an open secret, but no one dared say it out loud. Part 3. Lives torn apart. This wasn't just a scandal. It was career carnage. Musicians spent their entire lives mastering their craft, only to walk into a toxic environment fueled by fear and control. A brilliant violinist quit after being told she'd never move up unless she got closer to a senior figure. A young trumpet player was replaced on tour after filing a complaint, despite winning every audition round. One percussionist tried to escalate her case to the union. Weeks later, her contract was mysteriously dropped. This is what happens when art is used as a weapon. Some developed anxiety and depression. Others walked away from music for good. But the most heartbreaking part? No one noticed. No headlines, no justice, just silence and empty seats. Here's the scariest part. If this can happen at the New York Philharmonic, what's happening at other orchestras you've never heard of? How many careers were destroyed quietly just because someone spoke the truth? How many are still suffering right now? Part 4. Institutional fallout. With the scandal now in public view, the Philharmonic can't hide anymore. An anonymous whistleblower leaked internal memos to the press, and the fallout has been massive. The board has launched a so-called independent review. Donors are quietly pulling funds, and public trust cracked wide open. But many are calling the review a PR stunt. Why didn't the Philharmonic act sooner? Why were victims ignored for over a decade? Why was the conductor allowed to keep performing, even after multiple complaints? Meanwhile, musicians' unions are demanding change. Third-party investigations, whistleblower protection laws, guaranteed anonymity for reports, transparent misconduct policies across all orchestras. This is no longer just about one institution. It's about how the entire classical music industry protects its power while silencing its people. Part 5. A History of Suppression. And this isn't new. The classical music world has a long, dark history of suppressing scandals. From orchestras in Europe to conservatories in the US, cases of bullying, sexual harassment, and abuse of power have surfaced, only to be quietly resolved or erased. It's part of an outdated mindset. Protect the art at all costs. But what about the artists? How many promising careers were lost to toxic mentors? How many young prodigies were taken advantage of? This scandal isn't just a one-off. It's a warning shot. The silence stops now. Ask yourself this. If you were a gifted 19-year-old musician and the conductor who could make or break your future crossed the line, would you speak out or stay silent and survive? That's the impossible choice many face. And it's a choice no artist should ever have to make. Part 6. Why every classical fan should care. Classical music is built on beauty, discipline, human emotion. But what's the point of beauty if it's built on fear? If you've ever loved a performance, cried during a symphony, or felt chills from a soaring solo, then this story should matter to you. Because the musicians who created that magic, some of them were suffering. And they were told to stay quiet, to take it, to be grateful just to be on stage. It's not enough to love the music. We have to protect the people making it. This isn't just a story, it's a movement. We're finally pulling back the curtain on the world classical music never wanted you to see. So if this opened your eyes, don't stay silent. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Shady Side, because there's more truth to expose and more voices that deserve to be heard.